Travel Watch. Many popular tourist destinations overseas are eerily quiet due to increasing coronavirus concerns. The canals of Venice are largely empty, and the Louvre in Paris is closed today as Europe confirms more cases of the virus. More than 88,000 cases have been confirmed in 66 countries, with more than 3,000 deaths reported. So, Kris Van Cleave is joining us now from Reagan National Airport to talk more about the impact this is having on travel. And, how is the virus affecting travel?
Well, Anne-Marie, airlines are very concerned. We got another sign of just how concerned they are from an email that United CEO sent to employees over the weekend. Basically, the fear is that as the coronavirus spreads, it's not only going to impact airlines' bottom line because people are concerned about flying, it may force them to continue to suspend flying to certain parts of the country or certain cities around the world. Now, in this email to employees, Oscar Munoz said in addition to suspending flights to China and scaling back service to countries in Asia, it is likely additional schedule reductions will be necessary, which could include flights to parts of Europe or even some domestic flights. Also over the weekend, Delta and American Airlines announced they'll temporarily suspend flights to and from Milan, Italy. That comes as the State Department raised its travel advisory to 2 regions in northern Italy to level 4, its highest level, urging Americans not to travel there. The CDC is telling people to avoid non-essential travel to China, Italy, South Korea, and of course Iran. Alaska, American, and JetBlue are waiving change fees. This virus is having a big impact on demand for travel. In just a 5-day period last week, round-trip travel searches to Italy dropped by 13% to their lowest point of the year. United Airlines has already said its demand for flights to Asia down more than 75%. Anne-Marie?
Wow. So clearly there are many people who have been a little spooked by this whole thing when it comes to traveling to certain locations. But, other people might not be bothered, might be willing to fly to China or to Italy. So should travelers be concerned that there may be flight cancellations in the future to some of these areas?
Yeah, I think that they absolutely should be concerned. I think if you're going to particularly an area that is having a lot of cases of coronavirus, you need to be prepared for those travel options to be reduced. And 2, you have to factor in if a country decides to quarantine travelers, whether that's in that country or when you get back to the U.S., that you need to be prepared for some kind of disruption to your travel plan. Certainly, it makes sense if you don't have to go somewhere that is experiencing a lot of coronavirus cases to probably avoid that area. And as this virus spreads, you may see additional cities, additional countries added to that list of places that have flights suspended. Right now, it is increasingly challenging to fly to Asia. Most of the capacity to the Milan area in Italy has been suspended, and you may see that occur in other places as well.
And so, it's one thing to avoid the areas where there are spikes in the coronavirus, but like you pointed out, we don't know, the future areas where there will be spikes. So people are flying, they're traveling. Any advice on how they might protect themselves from the virus? You know what it's like in a plane. It's close quarters for a long period of time. And, you can understand how people would be a little worried.
Yeah, I think the same ways that you go about trying to avoid getting the flu during flu season or the cold during cold season apply here. You want to good hygiene, wash your hands. When you cough into your elbow as opposed to your hands. You're starting to see more people using Lysol wipes on the airplane seats and the tray table. That's not a bad idea because that's a communal space that's touched by a lot of people. But it's basically the same things you would do to avoid getting the flu would be the way to approach trying to protect yourself from coronavirus. Or keep in mind, we are in the middle of flu season, so a lot of the people that you hear coughing on the airplane, more likely that they have the flu than coronavirus if they do have something. But either way, those same kind of common sense ways to stay healthy, wash your hands, is a great place to start.
All right, Kris, thank you so much.